welcome back, guys. It's the POS podcast with me, POS MP88, Josh, or Be the King over here, Brian, and we have a special guest here. It's StarMoo. Do you want to introduce yourself to the audience?
Hello, I'm StarMoo. I love cats, and I pretty much only play Overwatch.
It's a fact. That's all I've ever seen on your channel.
That is true. That is true. Okay, so I
We
guess
like what we like.
that's true. That's true. So I guess we'll get into the first simple questions. We'll get the simple questions out of the way. So how did you get into streaming and gaming?
Gaming, I got into from my dad. We had a Sega Genesis. He put in Sonic CD. I was 3 years old. Was hooked to Sonic for years. And then
Okay.
as for streaming, quarantine happened.
Quarantine happened.
I was-
Okay.
the quarantine happened. I was bored, so we just started that.
Do you
That seems to be a common element with like almost everyone that we ask that question. It's like, quarantine happened, was
You
it at
know,
work, that
I
kind
was
of thing.
trapped at home.
Yeah.
When you said the Sega Genesis, that like resonated with me. That was my first console as a kid. I'm
Yeah.
32. So I got that for Christmas, like 1996, and like Sonic was my first game also. So I
Alien.
completely vibed with that game. It's a classic. It was out of style. That's why they keep making it over and over and
Yep.
over and over again.
Yes, sir. I do want to ask because we do have, like Brian said, every time we have someone on asking them about streaming, a lot of them do say it was because of quarantine or COVID that's happened. Do you feel like it's still just a hobby or it's still just for fun for you, or do you think it could turn to a career, or do you think that it could replace your main job in the future?
I mean, it's still mostly for fun. It'd be cool if, one day it did happen as like a job, but coming into that with that kind of point of view is what a lot of people experience burnout from.
That's true.
It's all about fun. It's
That's true. 100%.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, absolutely.
so I do want to ask. I see a lot on your Twitter page about your cats. Tell us about your cats. How did you get your cats? How did you get the names? Everything.
So we have two siblings, which are Bruce and Boof. They were actually born in my mom's friend's backyard. So I yoinked two of them. And then Bean, who is sunbathing right behind me right now, she was at the APL, which is a local animal shelter. We walked in, just looking at things. I saw a cat with one eye, and I'm like, yeah, that's mine.
That's cute. I wanted. Have you always been a cat person? Because I see the cat ears. You have a cat. So now, like, have you always been a cat person since a kid?
Fun fact, my first word was cat.
Really? No way. No way.
Yes. I was born, and my mom had an orange boy, and he was never a lap person, but when she was pregnant with me, he was a lap person. He would
Nice.
sleep in my crib and stuff with me. He was a good boy.
He was a good boy.
He knew
He was
that.
a very good
He,
boy.
he knew what was coming. He knew that like a cat personality was
Yeah, I
on the way.
say, I had no chance.
Yeah.
He basically just like became a cat person through osmosis. If he became like a lab cat while your mom was pregnant, it was just like getting absorbed into the womb. It was like
Oh,
meant
yeah.
to be.
Yep, I heard the purrs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Cats,
something like comforting about like a cat purr.
They were
Like we just got a kitten
no.
maybe 2 weeks ago or so, and yeah, it's something special. Like you don't think that you can love an animal until like you get a kitten. Like we've had a dog, and the dog is the dog, but like she's so small and sweet, and she just like wants love all the time. So like
Yeah.
I 100% feel it.
Yeah, I love cats. I had one cat in my life. His name was Bumpkin. That means stupid, apparently, but we didn't really know that. But we named him Bumpkin. All right, and he looked like a bumpkin to us. He was a cute orange cat. He always had orange cat activities. Like he was doing wild stuff. I remember one day,
Good behavior.
bro. One day I went to sleep and I made sure the door was locked. And somehow when I woke up in the morning, the door was open and the cat was like legit licking my face. And I was like, where did you come from? Like it made no sense. The door was locked. I still don't know how he got into this day. Probably someone opened the door, but I'm gonna just believe that he opened the door somehow himself.
Man, orange boys are one of the smartest.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. Like if I would ever to get another cat, I would get an orange cat for sure. I love cats. Right now, I have a dog though. But So I wanted to ask, like Brian was saying, you mainly play Overwatch, but do you have any other games you play off stream or any other games you play on stream that you like people to know about?
I mean, one of my favorite games actually is Stardew Valley.
Okay. Okay.
Just something that I think is, at least at where I'm at, not as like fast paced and interesting for most people, but it's still like one of my favorite games. Also, still play Toontown.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Those servers are still up.
Oh yeah,
Yo.
actually,
my
it's
God.
actually fan run now, so it's
Oh, okay.
100% free, no profit.
Mm.
So it's no subscription. It's still fun, and it's still a bunch of adults just playing to this day.
So how does that work? So did I think Disney owned it, right? Or is it
Disney
someone else?
completely shut it down, so which means that they pretty much gave up the rights to it.
Okay.
But
And
because
so
they're
someone
also,
just
and because it's non-profit, they can't get sued for it because they're not making anything from it. They're putting money into it.
okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's smart.
Toontown was like a vibe when you were a kid. Like everybody was on Toontown. It was like
Oh,
the game to have. Every Saturday morning, they'd like join Toontown, make your own character, and like all that stuff. I remember that from a kid.
So do you not enjoy like more like I want I want to say faster paced game or like more competitive games? Like I know you like Overwatch. Overwatch is strongly competitive. I know from playing myself. That game it can be crazy toxic at times, your teammates and stuff like that. That
Yes.
game's kind of different.
Hasn't changed.
Do you think that you don't really enjoy playing a lot of the competitive type games like Call of Duty or Apex Legends, or maybe it's just first person shooters? Do you not enjoy that type of stuff?
I tried those two. Couldn't get into them. At least for Apex, I just know not even people who play Apex like Apex right now. So bad time to try it, I guess.
Apex
But
is the most emo community out there. Like honestly, like
I always
whenever
see
they're on
like
Twitter.
tweets. I say I see
Yeah.
lots of tweets from the community, just like this game's trash, like worse than Overwatch tweeter. And I'm just like,
Mhm.
you're right. I tried it once with my friend, got
Based
shot
on
from who knows where, and I'm just like, listen, I can't see shit, but they see me. I'm done.
yeah.
I guess
They'll
it's
tweet about
battle
Apex.
royales,
Yeah.
but I like Valorant. I don't mind Valorant.
Valorant's
Now
fun.
that's one I haven't seen you play on stream, or if you have, I must have just missed it.
I used to a little more, but
Mhm.
Overwatch 2 came out, so they can
There
see
you
me.
Yeah.
Especially with the battle pass that I paid for, I'm like, gotta get this done.
Mhm.
You have to.
So do
And
you,
a little bit of Siege
a little bit of
Oh.
Siege.
when I'm with the
Okay.
right people.
Okay,
Oh,
so you
okay.
do like competitive games. You got Valorant in there. You got Overwatch in there. Rainbow Six Siege. That's
Yeah,
insane.
just-
That's insane.
Some of those games just has to be with the right people.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So
that
you,
makes sense.
so it's not like the competitiveness that gets you to play it. It's just the people that you play with.
Yeah, for the most part, but I also do prefer to
Winning.
be competitive when playing with them.
Yeah. Okay. 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 So I do want to ask you, like, how do you feel about the Overwatch community? And because I remember when I played in Overwatch a lot of people were toxic, especially when it came to like Twitter. There's a lot of like scandals with Overwatch, and they kind of rebranded now, and it seems good right now. I haven't played it too much, but how is the Overwatch community?
I mean, at least where I'm at in the community, I know a lot of people like it's like a lot of misogyny and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Thankfully, my couple games lately, they've actually been pretty cool and supportive. But I guess it's also with the logic of, oh, the higher up you are in the ranks, the less people are salty and mad about every little thing.
Yeah.
Because like when I was back down in like silver bronze, everyone was just mad at everything.
I feel
And
that.
then
I
as for,
definitely see
as
that.
for the scandals, yeah, I did take a huge ass break after the one certain incident,
Yeah.
but back at it again because at the end of the day, it's more supportive to support the women who produce the games that you enjoyed in the first place than boycotting them completely and just being like, all that you've been through was for naught.
Yeah.
So what exactly happened? Is it appropriate to say what happened? Because I'm not an Overwatch person, so I have no idea exactly what you guys are talking about.
Well,
But if you guys don't
am I
want to
allowed
get into it, we don't have to.
Okay, so again, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you.
He asked about the scandal. Am I allowed to mention that?
I mean, a lot. Don't get too like detailed, but you can like mention it.
Let's
broadly.
just say it was like sexual abuse.
Yeah.
towards the
That's
women.
no bueno.
I think it was it was the same Call of Duty scandal. It's just that Call of Duty and Overwatch are owned by the same company.
Oh,
Blizzard.
I say
Blizzard.
from the reports
Duh.
that they said most of the incidents were more in Call of Duty and World of Warcraft community. Like
Yeah, I forgot.
those kind of like
Blizzard and
developers.
Activision are the same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was
my
mostly
bad.
between
Okay, so I
like,
know what
those
we're talking about.
two, but I know like on business trips and stuff too. Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's never good.
I feel like a lot of people, at least when I was looking, a lot of people took breaks after that. It was kind of a shock to just a big amount of people. Obviously, there's always been like misogyny and like a lot of just bad stuff happening in the game community. Misogyny, racism, just any type of discrimination is always happening, especially when it comes to the communities. But like to see that's happening at like a corporate level, obviously, to think it's not happening is probably ignorance on most people's part. But to like actually
know.
see it happening it does suck. I get why people like boycotted the game a little bit afterwards, you know. But I think
Yeah.
I think your logic does make sense of supporting the people who did make the game instead of supporting people that you don't. You know, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because I mean, the universe will balance itself out, and the people that are doing the things that they're not supposed to, they're going to end up getting theirs one way or the other. And then if you're still playing the game, you're at least supporting the positive people that are in that corporate environment that are trying to make positive changes and trying to create an enjoyable experience. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it was a tricky situation at the time, especially for
Yeah.
streamers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I do want to ask. I have one more question about this, and I want to ask a different question. But like, obviously, I'm not a woman. I'm not a female. But like, how does that affect you when it comes to like this type of stuff? Because like, it's probably different for us. You know what I mean? It's probably different for me and
Yeah.
Brian. But how does that
I
affect
like-
you?
Like I said, I don't get it as much nowadays. But then again, I also always go in with at least one other person that if it does happen, they'll just scream at them for me.
Okay.
But say it's you still get like the comments, like either them sexually flirting with you or just being misogynistic. But
Yeah. Yeah. Me and
Just
Brian.
try
see
not
that
to
a
let it
lot.
get to you. You just got to show them, hey, I'm better than the boys.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Just
Better
gotta
than
crap
you.
on them. Just gotta crap on
Yeah,
them.
just got to do better. Show them, yeah, I can do it.
Yeah, you gotta do better, be better. That's what I say all the time.
Literally. Oh my
I
God.
say that all the time. People get mad as frick when I say it. I don't know why. Just be better. But I do want to ask. So I'm assuming you probably do have a job like in between of streaming and stuff like that. How do you balance your work life with your streaming life?
I don't.
You don't.
That's the most honest thing that I think I've ever heard on this podcast. You didn't even take it like you weren't like yeah, at this certain time, you know, I go into work, I have my
I
coffee.
try. I do. I go to work late with my coffee in hand.
Jesus Christ. So what do you do for work if you're comfortable sharing that? If you're not,
Yeah.
then we don't have to get into it. But
I'm a manager at Chipotle.
okay.
They
So-
pay for school, so
So you
Gotta check it out.
physically are late to work is what you're saying. Like
Yeah,
you work
oh.
from home and you just like sign on late.
oh no, I had to. I'm not making it through the day without that iced coffee.
I feel
Okay,
that.
I feel you. I
that.
feel you.
But
I feel
I
you.
try to stream, especially since school right now. It's
Mhm.
more of, do I have the time for this? Do I feel like it? Because like if I'm in a bad mood, it's like, I'm just gonna bring that energy to stream, and it's like they'll notice,
They will.
Yeah.
and like you might not think that your community will notice, but they notice.
I'm glad that you mentioned it because I know you took a break for like a little while. There was like a long period, but in that meantime, you didn't completely quit. Like you still had YouTube going, and you had like Let's Play content going. Which do you prefer? That was one of the questions I did want to ask you. Was like, do you prefer going live or do you prefer recording, putting the content out on YouTube, and just kind of
both
enjoying
have,
it
like,
later?
Cons and pros. I think overall, I
Mhm.
do prefer streaming more, as
Okay.
it's more. I like talking to people. Like I
Yeah.
like getting to know them, having fun with them. You know, playing with them, inviting them in, being like, "Hey, come on in." I just,
Yeah.
As for recording, I don't mind it. It can be funny and stuff, and like have your own like twist and magic on it. But I'm such a bad editor.
I feel that. I feel that heavily. That's what prevented me from getting on YouTube for the longest period. Was like I would see all these videos and they're amazing, and I'm like, I don't know how to do that.
I'll open up I open up DaVinci Pro and I'm staring at it. I'm like, interesting. I know how to clip. I know how to cut things out. Now what?
What you have to do,
exactly.
you just have to convince yourself that you're doing good. Because like when I started out editing,
Of course.
it was awful. It was disgusting. Like I'll look back at it now. I'll be like, bro, what are you doing, bro? Like this is
Yeah.
awful. I don't want to watch any of these, right?
You
But back
hated his own
then,
content. That's funny.
for real, like I want to delete it to this day, but I'm not gonna delete it. But back then, when I was editing the videos and I was watching it back, I was like, yo, these are the best videos ever. Like how are people not gonna love these? And they
Yeah.
did it, you know. But the more you edit it, it's gonna develop your skills. It's gonna be easier for you over time, and you're gonna see like what the audience really likes from you, you know. So I would just say keep going at it, you know.
It's also just a procrastinator.
I feel the same way. I feel
Like I'll finish the recording and I'm like, okay, I'm doing something else now. I'm done. And then I'll be like, I'll edit it this day, and I'm like,
how does that affect?
maybe tomorrow.
How does that affect you with your like streaming and like just anything that relates to your streaming career? Like for me, I procrastinate a lot. I work really hard not to procrastinate, but I do.
It's always a thing where I, like almost throughout the whole day, I'm just like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it. Just put your makeup on, girl, and do the thing.
Yeah. I'll say I'm gonna do it. And then like 11
It's
o'clock
really
comes
a
around and I'm
hardcore convincing.
I'm in bed sleeping. Like
Yeah.
I was like, I'll do it tomorrow. But I do want to ask because when we were talking earlier about like your work life and your gaming life, you also said that you do school too. So you're doing school, work, and streaming. How do you even balance that? Because like I'm doing school and not streaming, but like editing and stuff like that for POS. I have some work on the side, but it's mostly just school and work, and that's already so much. Like, how do you balance that?
Like I said, I really don't.
You don't.
It's just I try to get like all the schoolwork done as much like quick as I can,
Okay.
but like it still being good. And then it's like if I have a day off or if I know like I'm off tomorrow morning, because usually I work hella early mornings. So like if I'm off that day, I'm gonna try to like get a couple things done for school before, and then like stream at night, so
So-
that I can like stay up and not have to worry about waking up for work tomorrow.
Oh wait, yo, that's wild. You just kind of like to stay up the entire time.
No, it's just so
okay.
like, because like I said, I work at like 6, so it's like I don't want to go past like midnight, because
That
then I
makes
know it's
sense.
like it takes me like an hour or two to even fall asleep. So I'm like, I'm just setting myself up for failure if I do that on a work night.
Yeah, that makes sense. I misunderstood. I thought like you were saying like you would stream and like just stay up the entire night just so then you didn't have to fall asleep and remember to wake up. I thought you were just like not sleeping at all. I was like, yo, that's
I sleep a
not
little.
okay.
Just a
Okay,
little.
cat naps.
Yeah.
There you go.
do you ever find like was that ever a period in your schooling career like where you're looking at your grades or looking at like your progress and saying, oh, I didn't do that good in this area because I was streaming or gaming a lot during this period? Do you ever find that or no?
For school wise, I don't think so. It's more of, oh, I didn't do good because I put it off till the last second.
Okay.
So it's like usually I mean it's still self-sabotage, but
Okay.
it's not because of like other things that I am doing. It's more of I decided to not do anything.
That's a better way to look at it though. Like I could say that a lot for me. Like I could look at it because me, I'll look at it and be like, yo, I had to edit like 3 different videos for POS, and I barely had time to do this assignment or something like that. I barely had time to do this, and I'm like, well, if you did an assignment first, then you would have got it done. You know, I never thought about it like that. I need to think about it.
I
from
always
like
try
that
to
more.
do the assignments first, or at
Yeah.
least one a day.
The problem is I'm
You're
just
good.
taking a lot of courses I don't really like at the moment, so I
That's
don't want
fair.
to.
This is like the only one I'm taking so far that I kind of enjoy.
That you kind of enjoy, yeah. So
What are you studying in school? By the way.
I'm doing a science degree, a science
Okay.
associate's degree, and right now I'm taking the ocean studies class.
Oh, okay, nice.
Okay.
Nice. So are you gonna try to be like a marine biologist?
Yes.
Oh,
hey,
okay,
he
cool.
had that locked down. Look at him.
I'm a smart guy sometimes.
Yeah.
I was curious because I wasn't sure if it was going to be like for art because I see that you've got some sick paintings in the background. You got Jigglypuff. I can't tell if she's like Crying
She's
of
crying.
laughter or just regular crying?
I think she's crying. It was a baby Jigglypuff from the anime.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And she was crying in one scene, and I'm just like, she looked cute.
Her
So,
suffering is so precious.
so do you think that your dream career or dream job is to be a marine biologist or is to be streaming? Or is it to do both? That's completely possible too.
See, I don't think I've ever had like a dream job.
Okay.
Like when I was young, I wanted to be a veterinarian. Went to school for veterinarian. Got into the field a bit, and my mental health like plummeted. It was just I couldn't do it. It was hard. Like,
Okay.
It's understandable.
I love them too much that seeing them in a condition. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's understandable.
so do
I
you
feel like with oh,
no
sorry,
no you go.
I was gonna say I feel like it's different when it's like land animals and they're furry and like they live in your home. Where like with marine animals, they don't really like show pain as much because they don't really have like emotions in the same manner as like a cat or a dog or a ferret or something does. Like I could totally get that.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask because like that's kind of a not strange answer, but different answer from what we usually receive when we're talking about like dream jobs and stuff like that. When we say something like that, people usually like know right off the bat. Like you're saying that you don't have one at all. Like, do you have like a dream goal or like a point in your life where you want to be at a specific point?
I just want to travel,
Okay.
which means it's more of I want to do something that I think that I might enjoy and seems more interesting and not, retail or fast food.
Okay.
But, to make the moolah to like leave.
I get that. I get that. So it's not that like you don't have a goal. It's just that you just don't have a specific dream job, which I kind of get like, because if you ask me like what my dream job was, like as a kid, I would have said like a Power Ranger or something, and nothing has taken that place.
Sailor
like,
Guardian.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Yeah, I just want to save the world. But like the closest thing to that is like training martial arts or something like that. So I still get to have like that little piece of it in there, but there's not like a specific job where I'm like, this is what I have to be doing, and like this is my sole purpose in life. Like because I've had an interesting journey. I've been in fast food. I currently like work with cars and manage a shop. So like, if you had asked me 12 years ago, 13 years ago, if I was going to be doing that, I would have never guessed it. But it's just kind of where life took me. It pays the bills, and I'm happy. I completely understand what you're saying.
Because in my opinion,
100%.
like at the end of the day, it's a job.
Yeah,
Your life is outside of that.
Yeah, exactly. What you do at work matters to a certain extent, but it's what you do with your.
Of course, it
total
helps,
life that matters.
enjoying it. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's more like I'm definitely gonna enjoy the money I get to finally go to Japan.
There you go.
Yes, yes. Wait, so like if you hit the lottery today, will you drop everything and be like, yo, I'm rich, I'm going to Japan, I'm traveling, I'm out of here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
At least Japan.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go to Japan. I really want to go. Really want to go.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever told you this, Josh, but like as a kid, so I studied Japanese for a year, and our teacher once a year during the summer, she would take like a few kids to go to Japan and like show off the country. And my dad was going to let me go. And
Really?
I don't even remember what I did, but whatever I did must have been so severe. And I literally blew my opportunity to go to Japan, like on my dad's dollar. Yeah, and I've never went since.
You fumbled the bag. That's crazy.
I did. I'm a better person now, though.
Yeah. Tell your dad to send you now. Yo, dad, I'm a better person. Send me to Japan now.
Nah, he's gonna be like, dude, you're a whole grown up. You got this.
But I'm still your little boy. Like, come on. So why do you want to go to Japan? Like for me, right? Personally, I love anime. I love all that nerdy stuff, like anime, manga, just all that stuff I see like in Tokyo. I want to go there, but I also want to experience like the hot springs, just the culture they have out there.
Yeah.
I want to go experience that. It seems sick.
The anime food.
I'd say being like an anime fan does help, but it's just mostly the culture, the people, just how different they live lives, and like just all the pictures I see. It just looks beautiful. So I definitely want to hit Kyoto. I want to see like the shrines, and I would like to go. I want to go during like one of the summer festivals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I always see those in anime, and I was like, that looks like it's fun.
I gotta go. Yeah.
Anime always paints like the Japanese lifestyle to be great, except for like when their world is being destroyed by evil. Everything else looks like perfect aside from that. And it influences us like all. Like it's crazy how that works. Like we all are like, oh yeah, I want to go there because of this. You see certain things in anime. Pretty sick.
It
One
works,
day, maybe.
bro. It works like crazy.
It did work. They're walking commercials for Japan.
Yeah. And it's cool because like even like with the current World Cup, the costume designs for the football team that they have is inspired by the anime Blue Lock. It's like a soccer anime. It's inspired by that, you know, and like the sales for that's going up because the Japan's in the World Cup. Like it's a whole like loophole circle type thing. I do want to ask because I'm studying abroad next semester.
Nice.
I'm going to be in London for like 3 months. Me personally, I'm scared of leaving, but I'm also scared of like loving London so much that I don't want to leave, and then like in the future being like, yo, I want to move to London.
That sounds like my mom.
Yeah.
That bitch always talks about London.
I wanted to ask, like, are you scared of going to Japan and being like, yo, I don't want to leave. Let's buy a house out here and chill.
I say I want to buy a house there now, and I've never been. I just want to leave this country.
I feel that. I like to see just like new experiences, new culture, and that's why I'm scared of being in London so much. I'm like, I might like it too much, but I'm also gonna be traveling while I'm out there a lot. I'm gonna be going to different places.
Oh no! Have you ever been to New York?
I live right next to New York. I'm like $5.
Do you like New York City?
I love New York City.
Then you're gonna love London.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna love London.
You're gonna love London. It's basically that.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe a little worse.
A little worse? Oh no, that's not a good sign.
There's crime over there. No. There's like real crime out there.
They shake people.
It's also definitely busy.
Yeah.
They're busy. I feel you.
Certain times of the year, it's not. It's not great.
So did your mom like move to London at any point, or?
No, she had a London fun for the longest time. She finally went like, I think right before COVID happened.
Okay.
And fashion. She likes fashion and all that, so definitely one of the biggest cities for that.
Okay, that's good to know.
Next would be Paris.
That's good to know. So I wanted to ask, like, I want to take the viewers through your gaming journey. Like, what console did you start out with? A PC? Like, what console did you start out with? Where'd you go to? I know you said you started out with the Sega Genesis, right? So where'd you go to after that? And just take us through your console journey.
Next was the Sega Dreamcast.
Okay.
To this day, still have it. Solely for Sonic Adventure.
Dude, that console was ahead of its time. And that game was a perfect 10 out of 10 game.
So good.
Yeah. All right, sorry.
And then I probably got the Game Boys.
The Game Boys.
Yeah. I had a Game Boy Color, and my favorite game on there was a Hamtaro game.
Okay.
I remember Hamtaro.
The Hamtaro.
They dropped an anime, and it was like the cutest thing ever.
I know. I would just, every day before I went to kindergarten, Hamtaro would be on.
Nice.
It's sick. My favorite Game Boy was I think it's the SP, right? The one that flips, the clam.
The little one?
Yeah, the little one.
Like the little square one? Yeah.
I love that one. That's
Advance was like perfect. It was like the perfect size. The hand position was great.
Especially for our tiny little hands because we're young.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
It's made for us.
So what's next in the console journey?
Probably the DSs.
The DSs, okay.
Yeah.
So you seem to be a big Sega/Nintendo person.
Yes.
Okay. Were you ever like a PlayStation, Xbox type person or no?
My dad played a lot of games, so we had like every single system known to man. Like he had the Atari still. We have Xbox, PlayStation.
But that just never interested you as much as the Nintendo stuff.
Not as much, but I played A Dog's Life and CB2 Thousand Nights of Fright on the PlayStation 2.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
I think I heard of A Dog's Night. That's about it,
though. Dog's Life, yeah.
Dog's Life.
Dog's Life was you're just a dog.
Was it like Stray for the cat, but just like ahead of its time?
In a sense, it definitely wasn't as deep of a story.
Okay.
It was a little more chaotic, but like there was a story. Like I think like if I remember correctly, like you fell in love with this little dog and you saw her get taken by like the pound people and you're trying to rescue her or something.
Oh
man, that could be sad.
It could be
Imagine
fun,
if you don't rescue her successfully.
I'm pretty sure, at least when I was a kid, it was just funny and chaotic.
Okay.
That sounds fun. So
But I'm pretty sure that's what happened to her.
what's after the Game Boys and DSs?
Probably Xbox 360 or one.
Okay.
No, it's one of those two or both. Except whichever one Fusion Frenzy was on.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I remember that. I never played it, but I remember that being like an extremely popular game.
Yes.
Okay. So
Now,
that's
while I'm thinking about it, like you've got Funko Pops like in the background, and some of them are Pokemon. Like I know you said you had like the DSs and the Game Boy Advances. Were you playing the Pokemon games like back then? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What
my
was your
dad.
favorite?
Probably Crystal.
Crystal. Okay. And what were you about to say about your dad? Sorry.
My dad gave me the yellow.
Oh, yes.
He had one of the old Game Boys that had like the top part with the flashlight.
Yeah, I remember that. You had a little worm light, is what they're called, I think.
Yep, he had one of those.
Yeah.
it seems
Your
like
dad was like heavily invested in the
that's
game.
what I'm
Like,
about to say.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's like me and my daughter. Like, I'm still gaming, and she's old enough to understand gaming, so it's like kind of cool to see that dynamic in that it had been going on like 20 years ago, and it's not a new concept.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, were both of your parents gamers, and how did that influence you growing up? Because for me
My mom was
personally,
not.
your mom was not at all.
Nope.
She was
She
never
liked,
interested.
She liked Pac-Man. Miss
Okay.
Pac-Man.
Okay.
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 Had
Well,
to
that
be
one was
missed.
goated too. Yeah.
Were you ever like, Mom, come play with me? And she was like, Nah, I can't play that.
Yeah, she'd still play.
She still play? Okay.
She'd still play. We kicked her ass in Mortal Kombat. We bullied her.
Jeez. Yeah, because like I remember, like for me, my parents have nothing to do with gaming. Like I mean, they don't not like it, obviously, but they don't know anything about it really. They haven't played anything. The biggest thing that my dad used to do is I had an older cousin who was a gamer, and he used to just give us stuff for gaming. But he used to he got a PlayStation 2 from him because he wasn't using it anymore, so he gave it to us, and that was my favorite console ever. The PlayStation 2.
Greatest of all time.
The greatest. Like I know you said you didn't get that one. I mean, you said your dad had some stuff, but you said you didn't play that when you played the Xbox 360. But you gotta.
That's where I played Scooby-Doo and Dog's Life. It's PlayStation 2.
Okay.
Okay.
How do you feel about
I'm
that?
sure
How do you feel about the PlayStation 2?
it was good. And Spyro.
I love it. I love it so much. And is that the kitty cat?
Oh yeah, this is Bean.
Look at her. Look at her.
What breed is he? Like he almost looks like a little lion.
Yeah.
She is. She is.
Oh,
a little lion.
She.
According to what we found out on the internet, she's a mix between a ragdoll and something, and they called it a ragamuffin.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So that whatever ragamuffin is.
She's super cute. She's super
Cute
cute.
little lion.
She
She's a
makes me
good
want to get
girl.
a cat. That's crazy. Crazy. Cats are just so chill, bro. Like my dog is super hyperactive, always running and jumping around. I just need chill time. This man's always running around.
Yeah, she does
That's
that too.
She does.
That's
she
how
has
Winston is. I'm
It's
always
at 3
yelling at
a.m.
Winston.
zoomies.
3 a.m.
3 a.m. zoomies.
Is it Ashley at 3 a.m. though, or is it like
It's
just
not.
random
Oh,
times?
it's usually more at
Happy
night,
hours.
but it's
Okay.
witching hour.
Scared
Yeah,
of
it
witching
happens
hour.
It's random hours.
Okay, so I wanted to ask. So you said you started streaming in COVID, so it's been about what 2 years in your streaming journey so far, right? So out of those 2 years, what was the best moment you would say in your streaming career that you had? And it doesn't have to be like analytical. It could just be like how it made you felt, someone doing something, or what was the best moment?
One of my birthday streams one year
Okay.
where we just played a bunch of random ass games all together and like people come in and out. Like we had Jackbox, Among Us, Fall Guys. Was Fall Guys out? Maybe
Yeah,
that
Fall
was
Guys has
before.
been out, I think.
Yeah, that was around. That was Among
early
Us
COVID.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, we played that. Of course, some Overwatch, some Valorant.
So
A lot of random.
A lot of random.
How did you like segue from like one game to another? Because like you had like the Fall Guys, Among Us, big community games, then you had like competitive games. So like, what was the segue like into that? Like, how did that happen?
I think we started off pretty much with like kind of more the competitive.
Oh,
And
okay.
then we
Okay.
went over into like the more party kind of games. And as
Mhm.
more people wanted to join, that's when we kind of started to switch games. Because I'm like, all right, so Fall Guys can only have this amount. Let's do Jackbox. Jack, and then like when it got a lot of people, everyone's like, okay, Among Us time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Among Us is like one of those goated games, like from the COVID period. It's probably going to be like when we look back at it, it's probably going to be the most coveted game from the COVID era. Like Warzone is extremely popular. Like it made almost everybody a gamer suddenly, but like Among Us
brought everyone together.
Yeah,
like, people that never probably even talked
true.
before. Like I would see like Jacksepticeye with like other YouTubers I watch who aren't even in like the same kind of like gaming community he would be in, and I'm just like, this is cool. Like everyone's here.
Yeah. There was people that I've played Among Us with that I had never talked to before, playing that game ever, and they wanted to play it for like over a year, and I was like, you guys play it, I'm good. And then like
yeah, he was being like stubborn about it. He's like, I'm not playing that game, it looks stupid. He has this thing he says all the time, oh, you know, if it looks cool, I'll buy it. I'm an adventurous gamer. No, you're not. He plays 2 games, Call of Duty and sometimes Rogue. Okay, he does not adventure. Okay.
Nah,
but we had to like force this man to play Among Us.
Belt.
We were talking about Overwatch. I was telling Sarah like we were about to do the podcast and everything. I was like, oh yeah, she plays Overwatch, and Josh and Jordan have been trying to get me to play it for years. She's like, you're gonna play it eventually. And Overwatch is the one game that I said no to 100%, and I still haven't cracked. I played Valorant. I played Apex. I played.
Did you like Valorant?
It's different. I'm used to like fast moving games. Like Valorant, I've got to like stand still.
I can tell you right now, Overwatch 2 is definitely a lot faster than the original.
I'm telling you, Brian. I'm telling you. See, look, he's trying to make excuses. He's thinking of stuff in his head right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna say what I always say. It looks kind of hectic for me, and like I know what my brain can handle, and so I feel like it'd just be one of those games where I get overstimulated to the point where I wouldn't enjoy it anymore.
Just play tank.
Yeah, just play tank. I'm telling you.
You'll be in the front line. You won't even see what the idiot DPS are up to.
I'm telling you.
I can't make any promises that I'm gonna play it, but if I do, I'll let you guys know.
Brian, I promise you, you will never die, bro. I'm the best healer, like on everything. I love.
Oh yeah,
I'm telling you.
I've played some games where you're the healer before.
Okay, wait.
Okay, you got your pocket, Mercy.
Exactly. But it'll be so frustrating in Overwatch. I had this so many times, bro, where like I'll be trying to heal, but these people aren't killing anybody, and I'm just getting picked off of every time I go out there. They're like, "Oh, where's the Mercy at?" I'm like, "Bro, you let me die like 20 times already. Like I can't even go out there. You guys aren't shooting like you should be shooting. I'm bleeding out."
I had a one game where I got spawn camped as shit. My team was still out there, and I'm just screaming. I'm like, guys, there's a Sombra and Lucio. And then they're still complaining about the healing. I'm like,
what am I supposed to do?
I verbally expressed my need of help. That's on you, boo.
Yeah.
Like another thing like that happened to me in Overwatch was me and Jordan. Jordan is J-Man. Me and him were playing Overwatch, and we had a game where we were going crazy. Me and him, we had to put the team on our backs. I think we were both healers that game. The team would never group on the point ever to push the payload back, and it had me so sick. I'm like, yo, guys, please stop separating, stop rushing their spawn point, stay on the point so we can push it back. They never did. And then it's like 10 seconds left in the game, and the point's almost at the capture objective, right? Suddenly, everybody wants to group up on the point, and then Sigma does his ult. I'm like, bro, like, why is the one time you guys decide to group is when he has his ult? Like, why couldn't you guys do this earlier? And everybody was dead laughing. Like, every person on the team was dying laughing. I'm like, bro, I'm being serious, bro. Like, I can't do much.
You're pushing the payload back. You don't have to stand on it, though.
Just be around it. But they're not, like, around it at all. Like, they were, like, way off. Yeah, you know.
Let's say if I'm Mercy, I'm not sticking with the point ever.
Yeah, it depends.
That's honest job.
It depends. I'm more of a Lucio man. I got the golden gun with Lucio.
Yeah, they gotta be with you.
I love Lucio so much. He's my favorite character in that game. He's amazing. His movement, his healing style, he's amazing.
He's my Overwatch crush.
Exactly. He's great. He's great. I think I have a golden gun with him and Zarya. I'm toxic with Zarya.
Yeah. Dude, it's Zarya's goat.
She's amazing.
They call basically every healer, I feel like, Lucio. Like I know who Lucio is, and I've never played the game because like we'll be playing with Josh or Jordan, and like who is it they call? Is it Saint from Rogue? You'll call him Lucio, and he's also a healer. So like I can tell this man is definitely in love with Lucio because like I hear that name outside of the game and I've never played the game, but I know who he is because of that. I don't even know what the character looks like, but I've just heard that name so much.
So
He's
I
a little
want,
frog boy.
yeah,
He's a
yeah.
frog? Oh, is he?
No, he's not like an actual frog,
He's
but
not a
like
frog, but
he
he
be jumping.
he got the
I was
hops.
about to Google
Yeah.
it. Oh, okay.
He has a skin with like a frog on it.
Yeah.
Like it's his dead mouse. His dead mouse version of it is a frog.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a DJ.
He's amazing.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Let's Google Lucy.
I love his voice lines. I love everything about
Yeah.
him. He's great. Look, he's looking him up. Let's see what he thinks. I don't think he found him yet.
Okay, I see
There
him.
we go.
It's not what I expected him to look like, but I can see why you would call like Saint Lucia. I can see it. He's got like the dreads going and
yeah. The green.
okay,
And
I see the
everything.
connection. I see the connection.
Yeah. So I want to ask. So what do you think your streaming career takes you in the next like 5 years? 5-year plan for the streaming career. What do you think it takes you? You just going with the flow, or?
Yeah, probably just with the flow.
Okay.
Just whatever happens, happens.
Okay. And I do want to ask, because in our last podcast with Langer, we were talking to him about it. We're talking about how we've, at least me and him and Brian, when we were streaming, we all streamed at one point in time. When we would play games like Warzone or Call of Duty, it kind of felt like work for the stream. Like we would play it just to stream. Do you ever have those moments where you just turn something on and you're like, yo, I'm only playing this just to stream it to my audience? Or is it always just fun to play the game?
Well, I mean, again, it's also something the community will notice. I tried games before and like maybe ended stream or switched the game because I'm just like, listen, if it's not fun for me, it's definitely not gonna be fun for you to watch. Like I tried Alien Isolation, and I'm just like, it's not bad, but
How?
Like,
That's
I
one of
don't
those
know, it
games
wasn't
on
like-
paper that seems like it would be fun, but I
Yeah.
don't know if I would truly enjoy it. Maybe just like watching someone stream it.
yeah.
How often do you try out new games though? Like how often on like a weekly basis or even monthly basis would you say you try out a new game?
Well, I mean, usually I try out new things like whenever Steam's on sale.
Okay,
Makes sense.
I try the games out cheaper.
I feel that.
It's like I got a little wish list of stuff to, like I wanted to try and whatever.
Oh, one sec. I think is that Brian's kid?
Yeah, that's Victoria. Oh, what were you saying, Victoria?
Give me
Can I
one
get a
second.
charger for my tablet?
I don't know if I've got. Oh, here, take this one.
Look at Brian. Good dad moments. Look at him.
Thank you.
I love that. That was cute.
Hey.
That was cute. I'm gonna make that a
I do
short.
cute things sometimes.
I'm gonna make that a short.
Yeah.
People are gonna love that. So I do want to ask. I've always worried about since when I was a kid. I was like, yo, I love gaming right now, but what about when I'm like 60 or 70? Well, I still like gaming. I don't know why. I'll always be anxious about that when I was a kid. Did you ever worry about that, or did you ever worry that at some point in your life you would stop gaming or not enjoy it as much as you do now or before?
I guess since I have my dad, seeing him, he's in his 50s now.
Is he still gaming? Oh, am I lagging? Hello?
Still doing it. He just got a PS5.
So what does he play
You
to
like
this day?
mostly
Since you said he
single
is
player
gaming.
games like Uncharted, like the Tomb Raider kind of style games.
Okay,
That's
that's probably
nothing
like
like-
calming for him.
I said nothing like too big. He doesn't like open
Okay.
Oh, okay.
or like too big of an open world. He's fine with like some Zelda games and like all that.
There should be
Nice.
a dad StarMoo channel of him game playing and streaming.
Right.
That'll be fun.
It's Star Dad.
It's Star Dad. Yeah.
Dad move.
Dad Moo.
There you go.
That's
Dad Moo.
actually the perfect name. Perfect name. So he's still.
Speaking of name,
Oh, no. You
oh
can-
no, good.
I was gonna say
I
he's
was gonna-
still playing games. He's still like kicking it with the games and stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Is that
That's
like?
gonna be us in the future.
Oh yeah. That's you right now, Brian. No, I'm joking.
I'm not that.
No, I'm joking. But he's still. Does he enjoy it or does it for the most amount of time? Like, does he do it as much as he used to do it, or is it like more of a sparing type thing, like 1 hour a day? Does he still do it a lot?
It varies, I guess, by the days and stuff.
Okay.
He got a VR.
He got a
He's
VR.
ahead of it. He has more than me. I don't even have VR.
That's crazy, yo. He's a gamer. That's crazy. And Brian, what was your question? I'm sorry.
Hang on. For some reason, like my mic keeps showing that it's engaging, so I don't know if it's like making noise in the background. I might
No,
just be
you're
silent
good.
for a
Don't
sec.
worry.
Yeah, it just keeps flashing. That's weird.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't hear.
But
you.
I was gonna ask you about your name changes because when I first started following you, it was StarMoo. Am I saying that right? Or
StarMoo.
StarMoo. Okay, all right. And now
The
it's
reason why it's
StarMoo.
changed.
Yeah, explain that.
I mean that was a name I had like back when I played Maple Story.
Okay.
If y'all know what Maple Story is.
I never heard about Maple Story.
It was like a JMMORPG.
Okay.
Okay.
It was a cute little game.
Okay.
But I changed it because no one said it right. For one. And two, I think like StarMoo. That was for some reason that was my Overwatch name. Like even when I was still StarMoo. So I just changed it to that because I'm like, that's better opportunities for merch and just sounds cuter.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can see that.
So when you turn on the camera, turn on the stream and everything like that, what's the number one thing you're looking forward to? Are you looking forward to the people showing up to the chat, looking forward to the game, or looking forward to just the stream itself? What's the number one thing that gets you hyped about streaming?
Definitely chatting with everybody.
Okay. Chat.
Like, say when it's like stream time, it's I'm more focused on them than the game.
Yeah.
I have plenty of clips where I definitely have thrown the game to talk or read.
I used to do that all the time. I think that's my number one thing whenever I was streaming. I would just prioritize reading the chat. Like I'll be in the middle of a fight. If I see a message come up, I'll start reading it instead of starting fighting, and I'll die.
Yeah, it depends how tense the situation is. I'll just be like, hold on, chat. Let me finish this thing.
So, do you think the conversations you have on stream is better than like a conversation you would have in like real life with your friends or something like that? Like, how do you consider it?
It depends usually.
Okay.
I don't have many friends IRL, so I'd probably say yes.
Okay. I feel the
And,
same
like the
way.
friends I've made from doing it, like there's a lot of people I still play with to this day who came to my stream like last year or 2 years, and we're still, gaming and like closer than ever.
It's crazy to even think about that.
I know.
It's
And
crazy.
they just randomly happened around it.
The only reason we're here right now is because I randomly met Jamin in a Fortnite game 4 years ago. If I never met him in that Fortnite game, I wouldn't be here doing this right now. That's insane. Do you have
One day we're gonna get him on here.
Yes.
We're gonna pull peer pressure him into doing one of these.
Do you have?
My friend asked me an important question over Discord.
Oh, what was that?
Oh, I mean,
Orange
I guess you
juice or apple juice?
Orange juice or apple juice?
Yeah,
Orange
go ahead and
juice or
answer that
apple
right now.
juice?
Yeah, answer it.
Apple.
Okay,
Apple.
she's right.
You just said she's right. Like that's the right answer.
Yes.
It is the right answer. It's the only answer.
My friend sent a heart, which means I think apple's the only choice.
Brian, there's no way you think it's orange juice.
I don't like the minority here. So hear me out.
That's crazy.
Apple juice just doesn't taste good. Like it tastes like sugar, and like orange juice, like there's just more, I think, value out of it. You get your vitamin C, you get your other vitamins. Yeah, value. Like it's more bang for the buck. Like when you get orange juice, it's like you just took in sugar, and like that's it.
But have you had like the McDonald's apple juice cups things?
I try not to go to McDonald's. The food makes me sick.
Next time. When you
There's
get
no next time.
get your daughter a Happy Meal, but take her apple juice.
Take her apple juice.
Like, baby, I don't know what happened. They just don't give out drinks anymore. They just stopped doing that after COVID.
The Honest Kids apple juice slaps harder than any other brand.
Now, is the Honest brand, that's like more of like your kind of like naked version or like dumbed down organic, like less ingredients?
I think it's supposed to be organic.
Okay.
It just tastes good.
And
if it tastes
you
good,
can't find it. You can't find the apple juice in store either. Only
at McDonald's.
Okay.
So what you're telling me is you just got to order like 10 Happy Meals, so then you're good for the week.
Yeah.
Like I need 10 Happy Meals with Honest as the drink. Hold the food. Like
just give me the freaking drinks. Yeah.
Yeah, just whatever blister pack they're sealed in, just sell me that.
Yes. Speaking of food and everything, how does your streaming affect like how often you eat or how often like affect the food that you eat? Because when I was streaming, I was eating like McDonald's and like bad food. Like I wasn't cooking as much as I'm cooking right now. I wasn't like eating as much as I was eating right now.
I mean, I still cook.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
most of the days, we try to eat the leftovers.
Okay. Do you
That's
cook?
very grown up of you.
I, do not- I
Very adult-like.
actually enjoy cooking.
Oh, okay.
So,
See,
that makes
I
sense.
enjoy cooking.
but I
too.
also love McDonald's. Love it.
Because
What's your favorite thing on the menu?
Yeah. What's your favorite thing?
Besides the fries, I get the nuggies.
Nuggies. Okay. All
With
right. I respect that.
Ranch.
The best
Ah,
thing.
I
Yeah,
hate
ranch.
ranch. We're about to not be friends over my food selections. I can feel
Your
it.
opinions are all incorrect. But
Ranch?
That's okay.
Do you like blue cheese though, Brian?
What's
Ranch
up?
just tastes and smells weird. I just can't get into it.
This is becoming a food
But I,
podcast.
I respect you guys' preferences.
No, I mean I don't like ranch or blue cheese, or mayo. I mean I'm not a picky eater, but like sometimes
Fine mayo on certain things.
it depends. Like the only time I really like mayo is like it's the tuna, like the tuna salad sandwich. You know what I'm talking about?
Mixed in.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, mixed
yeah.
in with stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. That's
I mean that's the only
because
thing
it's
I
like
like.
one of the base ingredients.
Yeah. Anything else that has mayo in it, I kind of hate. You know, I hate when they put
And it's in
mayo
your
on this.
mouth, and it's.
It's
doesn't-
allowed to be on that McChicken.
Yeah.
I take it off. When I
do.
get my
I do.
McChicken,
But it's
I literally,
so dry.
I strip it down, right? Like I take the mayo off. I'll eat the lettuce sometimes, but only the lettuce. Like I can't have like anything else.
You take it off yourself? I just tell the people I want no mayo.
No, like when I order it, like online.
Oh,
no mayo, no
okay,
lettuce.
okay.
No, I'll take it off. No, somebody gets paid for that. I'll order it with just the patty and then like a slice of American and then maybe a little bit of barbecue sauce on it.
Okay.
Because their barbecue sauce is good. Of all the like fast food or like dine places, they have really good barbecue sauce. I don't know what's in it, but it tastes good.
Probably drugs.
It's probably cocaine.
Probably.
You know.
Probably. I think my favorite thing at McDonald's is something they took away was the buttermilk crispy chicken sandwich. I freaking love that sandwich,
that
and
was
they
so
You don't
took it
have that
away.
anymore?
They took it away. I think because of COVID
They're
or
trying to
something.
compete with yeah, well, you
What
know,
do they do?
Chick-fil-A and Popeye started that like chicken
crispy.
sandwich war, and I think that's when the Southern Style buttermilk went away.
When did they take that?
It's been a minute.
It's been like
Was that
almost
before
a year.
COVID?
No, it's
Like
been
when they
a
took
year.
away our. I was
Yeah.
gonna say okay, because I worked there a bit ago.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah,
It was
I
like
think
a year.
Couple years back, that was still there. I'm like, we definitely had that.
I was so mad when I showed
Yeah.
up one day and it said crispy chicken sandwich and I got it and I was like, yo, this is the nastiest sandwich I ever had in my life. I'm
Oh, they
sorry.
changed the Burger King chicken sandwich too, and it's trash.
Yeah, none of them are good.
I don't think it's too bad.
Okay,
I'm
you're
gonna be
insane.
honest. I think it's.
I
Still
never,
decent.
I haven't had it, but he liked the crispy. Got like the one. He's like, it just tastes like they put their nuggets on some bread. That's what he described it as.
And those
I mean,
nuggets
that's
are
like what
good.
KFC does and Zaxby's. They're just like, we got leftover nuggets from last night. All right, sandwich.
Now
You
listen
know?
though, the
No.
KFC chicken
don't want no
sandwich is
Zaxby's.
amazing. The KFC
I'm gonna
chicken
take
sandwich.
yours.
is
Yeah, I like
amazing.
KFC.
Exactly. See, Brian, you just gotta.
Popeyes.
KFC eats a lot of fast food. My fast food preferences, I
fat.
guess, are weird. It's just like Taco Bell is like the king of
That's like-
fast food for
It's
me.
like the only one I don't like.
That's crazy. Nah, you just that's crazy.
Okay, listen. It's because they
Brian-
took away my potatoes.
Nah, you can still get the potatoes.
Yeah,
You
again,
literally can.
after we ditched.
Oh.
They took it away for a while.
Yeah, you
I'm
can get
s- I'm
potatoes
still
and you
salty
can get the
about it.
fries.
But they
Like,
took away the potato grillers.
oh, the grillers, you can make them. You know?
Yeah, but then I had
Like,
to
you
pay
just be like,
extra because I had
True.
to add stuff.
Yeah, the grillers were fired for like $1.25 or whatever they were. Like that was a good value. For $5, you can get like 5 of those.
Brian's like the Taco Bell king. If you're ever
I love
asking him what he's eating or like what he's door dashing, 90% of the time it's Taco Bell.
Well, I'm getting better.
See,
I'm
as
trying to-
someone who works at Chipotle, I get it for free, and they're better.
You get it for free,
Fair enough.
Yeah, I work there.
but like you get
It's
it for free. Oh, that's fine.
Oh yeah,
Now I kind of want to
Not
do a
to
little
mention,
part-time job,
she's
1
the
hour a
boss.
week.
it's a part time, and if you work 15 hours a week, they can help with school.
Really? Now that's fire. Oh, I think it froze. Did my
That's pretty
That's-
solid. 15 hours a
yeah.
week isn't a lot. That's a good program. Because I mean,
It's a
normally
great
it's like
program.
in order to get those benefits, you got to work like full time
Yeah.
somewhere. So like 15
Yeah.
hours, that's nothing. I could work 15 hours in between my regular
Exactly.
job. Like
That's what a lot of people
Yeah,
do
that's-
there.
that's
They
crazy.
work that as part time. Everyone else works somewhere else.
Do you like?
that is actually a big brain. That's really good of them. I didn't know that about them.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever actually been to Chipotle, so I don't know that much about Chipotle aside from like everybody loves it. I just never
Unfortunately,
went.
This is a,
Are
this is
some
a
days
hot
are
take.
busy.
This is a hot take, but
you gonna say Moe's is better? I've had Moe's.
not Moe's. Qdoba. I
Okay.
freaking
Qdoba's-
love Qdoba. I
Aren't
don't
they
know
like
why.
going under, bro? There's like 2 of them in the U.S.
I don't even think I have one anywhere around me.
Really? You guys never
I just
have
We
live
them?
had
in
one in
Milwaukee
Raleigh.
Street.
Really? I have them everywhere. They're everywhere in New
I
Jersey.
don't.
Maybe they're just thriving there or something. Because like in North Carolina, we've only got like a couple.
So I don't know of one around me.
That's crazy. I have one walking distance from me right now. It'll take me 2 minutes to walk there. We'll be right there. I love
Nice.
them so much. The food's good. Chipotle's amazing too. I only ate in there like 2 times though. I'm a Qdoba baby. I've been eating it since I was like 10 years old. So that's why.
I loved feeding you Qdoba when I was
Oh,
we were coming up, putting the little tortilla chips in your mouth, like here, son.
he likes making the father jokes. I don't know why.
So I know we've been talking about food for a little while, but
yeah.
there's this place that we have. It's called Islands in North Carolina, like specifically this area that I live now, like near the beach, and it's kind of like a Moe's Chipotle-esque kind of place, and it's pretty good. It's like probably my favorite non-Taco Bell like Tex-Mex that's out there. Like it's really good. Like the burritos are like thick. They give you more chips than you could ever eat. Salsa, like it's a good value. Like $10, you're good, and you don't have to eat for like 8 hours. It's like a really good value.
Yeah. So, yeah. And just changing topics, we have been talking about food for a while. I know we're all foodies here. That's why.
Yeah.
But I want to ask, like, when you're thinking of a fan or audience, someone who's watching you, what do you want them to expect from you? Like, when they're thinking of StarMoo, what do you want them to think of?
Just someone that you can like join the community in and feel accepted for who you are. Like everyone's friends there.
Okay.
That's what I want everyone like in the chat to like be talking to each other too, not just all to me and stuff. Like I like
Yeah.
seeing like side conversations of them like poking fun at each other and being friends.
That's some of the best distractions ever. When you're streaming, it's like you're in the middle of a gunfight and then you like see something wild and you're like, what did he say? Like those are the best moments, is like when the chat is literally creating the content for you. Like that's the best.
Yeah, that's why I have the chat on screen. I'm just like, if something happens, we got it.
the banter.
I'll never forget when RJ was like live tweeting and like subtweeting about me while I was live, and like I have all those notifications pop up in the bottom right corner, and he said something like "Focus on the game, King," and I turned it into a short because it was hilarious. But like, I love when you get that like organic content like your chat, and like everything's just going well, and it's just a good time overall.
Yeah.
I remember, I think it was like right before we were going to schedule the podcast or something. Like I think I was like lurking your stream, and I remember telling Josh, I was like, she has like the most infectious smile. Like if you're having like a bad day and she's streaming and she smiles, like it just fixes your day.
Oh.
Like that's like the one like takeaway is like you're always having a good time, or it seems like it. If you've had a bad time, I've just not been there. But like it's always a comfortable environment, like always. So you're doing a good job.
Thanks.
Do you think that's hard to do? Making that environment really comfortable and easy to access?
It depends, like who you are. I mean, if you're like just an understanding and accepting person, it's not as hard to just be like, yeah, come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like y'all having a bad day, that's okay. We'll have a bad day together now. We're all here for each other.
Yep.
Yeah, because like I feel like whenever your community starts to get bigger, it does become hard. At least for us, it became harder to manage. We got better at it over time because more experience. But like you always have like people who may be problematic or just start problems.
Yep.
You may have like just issues happening within your community, and it's hard to look at because you're like, dang, like I want people to have fun. I want people to be welcoming and just not worry about saying their ideas or thoughts in here, and then like there's problems happening? Like, how do you deal with that type of stuff? Or has that type of stuff happened in your community before?
Not too much, but on like the moment they make like anyone uncomfortable, it's a ban.
It's a ban. Okay.
Like,
Good
yeah,
policy,
you're not. Yes, you're not coming in here. You know, causing trouble, making even like someone else in the chat uncomfortable. That's
Okay.
not how we
really
roll.
weird. How do people like decide like this is what I'm gonna do today? Like I'm gonna show up
Yeah.
and impose my toxicity on someone. Like how the hell do you wake up like that? Like you just
I'll never understand.
I feel
like
that.
I'm gonna pull up the stars chat and just like be just toxic and just keyboard warrior away, man. Like that's so weird to me. It's so weird. Like just let people enjoy things, you know? Like that's always been my philosophy.
Absolutely.
And just one more question from me before we start entering closing, because we are at a little bit over an hour now.
That's okay.
But one more question from me is, oh my gosh, it just blanked. It just blanked. No. Brian, you go before me. I just lost it.
Okay, it'll come back. One of the I had a couple things that I was gonna ask you. As far as like your inspirations for doing what you do in life and in gaming, is there like a certain person that you kind of look up to or that you kind of pattern yourself after, or even if it's not a specific person, just like certain character traits that you've noticed in certain people that you've seen successful at what you want to do or that you've encountered? Like what kind of keeps you going and, you know, makes you who you are as a person?
I mean, it has to be my mom.
Okay.
Like to this day, you know, she's finally like making costumes and stuff for plays, like something she always wanted to do after having a not so fun job for the longest time to like work her way up into that.
Yeah.
And like she never gave up on what she wanted.
Nice. And what's like if I guess it's kind of what he was asking. Like he had asked what is something that you want people to think about whenever they think about you? Is there like a certain legacy or, you know, when you're done with streaming, if you ever are done with streaming and, you know, you decide that, you know, marine biology is going to be the only thing that you're focusing on, what do you want to leave behind when you're done?
That was the question. I literally just wrote it down because I had it. Bruh. Okay.
I mean, that we had a good time, had fun times. Like we made not just building a community along the way, but we made genuine connections, friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the cat mom who played Overwatch.
The cat mom that played Overwatch. I dig it.
And
now,
they won't forget Bean.
No, you won't forget Bean. A little lioness. Is there anything that you found like to be difficult while you're doing this, like the gaming or anything IRL that's gotten in the way of, you know, what you're trying to build with streaming at all?
I mean,
aside from having to work.
Yeah, I mean, just getting over burnout, imposter syndrome.
Yeah,
That's
completely understandable.
It's hard to get through with the internet.
Yeah,
and not sometimes, kick yourself down.
Yeah,
got to try to pick yourself back up.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And it probably helps like that you've got like good community people around you and like you've got good energy and people will like gravitate towards that. So it probably helps having like that sense of community and people around you.
Exactly.
Josh, did I steal any more of your questions?
That was the question I really wanted to ask. But I do.
You were like checking off some of my list as you were asking questions. I was like, oh, that was mine.
Yeah.
I do want the questions get asked.
Exactly. Yeah. I do want to ask, like, let's say, like, you, like in the future, you do finish your streaming stuff, and you're just like walking down the street, and someone comes up to you, and they're like, "Yo, are you StarMoo?" Like, how would you react to someone actually recognizing you and be like, "Yo, yeah, I am StarMoo. Like, what's up?" Like, how would you react?
I mean, even now, while I'm still streaming, if someone did that, I'd be like, "What the hell?"
You okay?
Yeah,
there's no way.
You said, please go away. Are you more of like an introvert? I know you say you don't have like a whole lot of IRL people that you okay. Feel that heavily. I'm only like super social. If I'm at work I'm like completely free and out there and say all kind of crazy stuff and have a good time. But like outside of work and outside of like gaming and doing what we do here, like I'm pretty much a hermit crab. Like when I'm going to the grocery store, I grab everything that I need to in like 5 minutes or less. I go to the self checkout because I'm not trying to talk to anybody. Like
Yeah.
that's very much me. It only comes on in certain instances, but other than that, I like prefer to not interact with a lot of people, which is really
I think it's frozen.
weird considering what we do. An introvert, or how would you explain yourself? Because like I feel like you're extroverted to a certain extent, but then you have your moments where like you can disappear. I don't think Josh was paying attention.
No,
Yeah, I was asking
my,
you.
you asking me?
Yeah, I was asking you.
Okay, my
Sorry,
screen
I already
like
answered.
my screen
That boy was in a
froze.
daze.
No, my screen froze for like 30 seconds.
Now
You
your
see
screen
it
didn't freeze.
on my live, bro. You can see it on my
Okay.
in the video. You'll see it. Okay.
Okay.
Wait, so what was the question towards the end? Because I couldn't.
I was
hear it.
asking you if you're more like introverted or extroverted.
Okay.
I feel like it's a little bit of both for you as well.
Okay, so when I'm online, I'm more extroverted. I'm like showing up to everybody's tweets, being like, "Yo, this is funny," blah 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 blah. In real life, I feel like when I was younger, I didn't care too much, but then I found I mean, I try to like go with the popular crowd, but I was like, nah, I don't really like these kids too much. No offense to those kids, they're probably cool kids, but I found my own crowd, and I have like 6 really close, really good friends, and for me, I never really cared about adding onto it in real life. I'm like, yo, I got these 6 people. They're ride or die. Yo, I'm cool with it. You know, if I need to text
Yeah.
someone, I'll text them. If I need to talk to them, I'll talk to them. But I never been interested in finding new people to hang out with or finding new people to add to that circle. When it does happen, it's cool. It's cool because you're like, oh, yo, another new friend. You know, it's growing, steadily growing. But it's never been too much of an issue for me. I would say I'm introverted. I wouldn't say I'm shy because I think a lot of people associate introvertness with shyness. I wouldn't say I'm shy. I just
Right.
don't really have I don't really care too much about going out there and like talking to a bunch of different people, especially if I'm not interested in it, you know?
That makes sense.
I think when it comes to online, it just feels different because it feels like everybody's like talking to each other. It feels just more welcoming, and it feels like you should say something. You know, when someone does tweet out something, you're like, oh, I do want to respond to this, and it does engage you to a certain extent. You know, that's how I feel about it. But
That makes sense.
yeah, I do want to ask. So I know this would be my final question, and then I don't know, Brian, if you have any more questions about this.
Yeah, I think I got one more.
So you said that you got into gaming mostly because like your family, your dad was a big gamer. Do you think part of the reason you might have gotten into gaming was to just socialize with people and like have friends and make new friends that you couldn't have before? Because there's no way I could be friends with Brian. He's in a whole different state that I haven't visited. You know, like, is that part of the reason why you started gaming?
I would say like that's the main reason why.
Okay.
Like it just happened along the way.
Okay.
Because I could tell you that plenty of times where I met some people online. My intention wasn't going in there like, I'm gonna hit up some people today and make friends. You know, it just happened like organically.
Okay. I like that answer.
Yeah, it's always best. Let it happen naturally instead of forced.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like, I don't think I ever looked at it and be like, oh, I want to make friends online. It's just more organic. I think with playing online and playing games online, you have more of an opportunity to meet people that are more like you than you would in real life, you know, because in real life, every time you see someone, you're not talking to them. Like if I see someone walk down the street, especially like when you're in the city, you're not saying nothing. You're just looking straight forward and you just keep walking, you know? Online, like you join somebody's game, everybody's starting talking. You're like, yo, Max Payne, why aren't you talking, bro? Where's your mic at? Yeah. You know, like you're expected to talk when you come online, and it's cool to meet people that do that, you know? So Brian, what was your question?
I was gonna ask, are we gonna start seeing more StarMoo artwork? Because your art definitely like grabs your attention in the background. Like,
Yeah.
are we gonna start seeing more of that, like digital art, or maybe selling more paintings, things like that?
Yeah, definitely like to do more paintings. I don't have like much equipment for digital right now.
Okay, maybe
But
one
I
day.
like painting.
Good.
Okay.
And I want to learn to crochet.
I've got a colleague who literally, like, whenever we're dead at work, Like she's got a bag, and this bag has got like, all kind of colors, and like she'll sit there and do that. She'll converse and
Love
ask
that for
questions every so often, but if we're dead, like she's in
her.
there. Like her snap stories are just like her, just like crocheting. Like that's what she does. She's like, oh, look at what I made yesterday.
I love her already.
She's pretty dope.
That's funny. That's funny.
Well, I guess since we're coming to a close, tell everyone where we can find you. You know, where your socials are, and
Sponsorships,
you know,
if you have
more.
anything like that.
Yeah, we'll put them in the bottom of the video, also in the description.
Yeah, you can find me on pretty much every single app with
Mhm.
the name. It's StarMoo.
Perfect.
Fair enough.
Every
Streamlined.
single thing. It's all the same.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, good. If you guys enjoyed this podcast, and drop a like, drop a comment about what your favorite part in the podcast was, and also drop a comment about who you want to see next on the podcast. Star, we really enjoyed having you on. This was a great
Yeah, this
chill
was fun.
conversation.
Pleasure being here.
Absolutely.
Thank you for inviting.
This was really fun, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Deuces.